Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on my meetup for Bay Area meditation. Today is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. Today, I want to talk about trauma and I want to talk about what is trauma and how it affects the body, both emotionally, physically, and how it affects the multidimensional body. And we're going to talk about healing, and I'm going to share with you a very powerful regressive work meditation to assist you in reprogramming the DNA and the information that is acquired through trauma. Now, to begin, trauma can be any situation that causes an emotional impact in your life. And there are two different kinds of trauma. There's the kind of trauma that you receive, let's say physical abuse or abuse within the family as you're a child, as you're growing up. And those are very strong, impactful situations that cause a lot of emotional damage, a lot of perception damage, and doesn't allow us to move forward. And those emotional blockages then transform into manifestations where we change our perception of how we view ourselves and how we view those around us. Now, there is another part of trauma that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's that very subtle trauma that occurs when we are interacting with someone. And of course, that trauma is a result of maybe prime trauma, what you want to call prime trauma, which is the trauma that occurs in childhood, as I was mentioning, through physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, many different kinds of abuse that we often sometimes don't really take into consideration that it may affect us on a very deep level. Indeed, any kind of trauma, any kind of I guess you can say sufferance of the emotional and an identity of the self is very, very important. So, this is where we start looking at the patterns of our behavior and how it affects us. I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of trauma. A variety of studies have pinpointed the impact of trauma on key structure of the development of the brain. Okay, so this is really, really important. These include the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus helps us with memory and spatial navigation. The amygdala, which enables us to process emotions, is really important, and that is also affected. The cortex, which plays a role in complex cognitive behaviors, personality expression, and moderating correct social behaviors. Okay, so these are the prime parts of the brain that we are working with when we're talking about trauma. And these are the parts that are affected when we undergo a traumatic situation in our lives. And all of these work simultaneously, directing information from one to another. So as we are experiencing trauma, one will communicate to the other, and from there creating a chain reaction, solidifying in a perception. So, in short term, trauma causes an intense biological alarm state, so including a rush of adrenaline, cortisone, and other hormones, as well as intense fear. Now, fear always seems to be the very base of these emotions, of these traumas. And I work a lot with trauma. The majority of my clients, we are reprogramming trauma, which can be very subtle or very, very clear within the body and the mind. When we talk about fear, fear is always the very base and root emotion from all kinds of different traumas, whether they are physical, emotional, or in the entire spectrum of pain or abuse that there may be. So what happens when we start to feel this intense fear? We stop thinking, and that usually happens so that we can fight against this traumatic event. We can decide whether we need to flee this dangerous situation, and we have trouble processing information. So in children, the repeated exposure to trauma, to these traumatic events, can really overload the alarm state and begin to short circuit a healthy neural connections. And that's what happens. And I see that a lot with my clients that have dealt with, constant trauma. And what I also see tends to happen is that this really disrupts the brain's basic emotional and social functioning and normal healthy development. What tends to happen is that because these situations cause a very traumatic memory imprint, not just in the brain, as we're talking about these neural connections communicating with each other, but all of this information, as you know, we perceive information, is imprinted into every aspect of the body. Physical, emotional, and within the multidimensional body. And all of these are imprinted within even the muscle memory, down to the very cellular level of your body, because everything within the reality structure is functioning in a form of fractals. So if your body as a whole is going through a very traumatic, impactful situation, everything down to the cellular level, your muscles, your flesh, your bones, the cells are experiencing the same trauma. This is information, vibrational information that enters the body, shifting and programming information. Okay, so when we are experiencing these, that's why we're talking about the brain going down in shutdown mode, because we're not sure how to react. Usually we will stop thinking, and then we will want to act from instinct. And in children, that's a very confusing and very difficult situation because of our I guess, not understanding the process of emotions and coming from a completely different perspective, not having experienced these prior. A child does not know how to act, doesn't know from where to pull from other than instinctual acts of fear. Okay, and those can be rage, anger. They will manifest in many different forms. And this is what a child will go through in patterns of behavior all the way into adolescence. So the societal effects of these in early development, of these developmental, I guess, insults, you can call them, are manifested in a variety of troubling ways, challenging and extending our human services, our systems, our human service systems. So several studies have actually confirmed that as many as 90% of people receiving public mental health services diagnosed with major mental illnesses are actually have experienced physical and or sexual abuse as children. Okay, it's a very alarming rate, but it's very real. And the majority of the clients that I work with have experienced on some level some kind of an abuse or impact or a vibrational impact of this sort, of this caliber. So even 9 out of 10 boys and 7 out of 10 girls in juvenile detention, for example, have reported traumatic experiences in their childhood. So we see these kinds of patterns of behavior on and on and on throughout our lives. And I'm going to explain that in just a second. There was a director of a drop-in center here in the Bay Area that talks about that children that have experienced trauma, the way he put it, it's almost as if the brains of adult survivors are fragmented, almost as if a hard drive and a computer that has crashed. Okay. And this is really interesting comment when I heard him say that, because when we look at the metaphysical perspective of this and how it affects the physical body down to the neurological level, down to the cellular level, all this information is impregnated into the body. And it is information that stays in the body unless processed and healed. Okay, and so what happens is when we experience a traumatic situation, literally a fractal of our soul essence is suspended that moment in that traumatic memory. So, what I do with DNA reprogramming and with fractal integration is reintegrating each one of those fractals into the cell so that the person can become whole. And of course, in the spiritual community, you hear a lot about becoming whole, but what does that actually mean? And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about healing that trauma, healing those programs that were created from those very impactful situations and experiences during childhood. It can literally be anything. It can be from your siblings stuffing you into a closet, closing the door, and scaring you to death, not letting you out. That moment where your body is diving into the feeling of fear and terror creates a chemical reaction within the body. And again, your neurological systems are all communicating here with that fight or flight mode. So that creates an impact in the body. And this is very important to take into consideration as parents looking at our children playing and understanding that we need to take behavior, emotions, and impactful situations, stress, really seriously, because our children that may be playfully interacting with each other often cause each other a lot of trauma, and we don't realize that until later on when they are in high school, when they're needing to go out to interact and create a healthy social environment. They are staggered within that relationship and that interaction because they are afraid, they are unsure. There are these underlying subconscious fears that are now coming up into play. Now, as you know, I spoke before about how our perception is created through the multidimensional body. I'm going to go into that just briefly, talking about how everything that we are perceiving from around us, we are absorbing into the body, and it is being filtered through our chakra system. Okay. Now, the way that the soul works, the soul comes into the physical body with the information of your entire energetic imprint of your essence. And as this comes into the body, that information is then put out into the blood, into the DNA. And you are dealing with two aspects of the multidimensional body. You are dealing with the actual DNA of the body, which is connected to your ancestral bloodline, which is your network. So your family, your grandfather, your father before that, the father before that, and all of that information that is carried within that line, in addition to your own information that you're bringing in from your own particular soul evolution, from your particular essence. So all of that is then organized in a very elegant manner within the chakra system. The chakra system is a wonderful organization of connections that connect the entire multidimensional body, all three aspects of the self: the higher self, the physical self, and the multidimensional body. So when we are talking about healing, we have to understand that we have to target the three aspects of the multidimensional body, not just one. A lot of time in traditional psychological therapy, you are targeting maybe one aspect of that, but there are many other parts. And a lot of times, traditional psychology is afraid to go deeper into the subconscious mind to understand what lies behind that trauma, to the very root of all of that. And it's really important to not just identify what the root is, but to create a healing for that. So, how do we create healing? I believe that traditional psychology is afraid of doing that healing and reprogramming because then we are talking about a fractalized society where beliefs are divided and categorized in certain specific, locations and identities. And really, at the very base of all of this information, at the base of trauma, we're looking at fear as the underlying cause of all of this trauma. So, how do we counteract that fear? How do we reprogram and provide the subconscious mind what it needed in that moment of impact? So, the way that we provide healing for this is that we go into regression, into a light regression where we access the memory of that traumatic situation. And normally, when you are running energy, when you are cycling a healing energy through the body, your mind is now opened intuitively, allowing you to access those memories with ease. Okay. Another aspect of trauma is that a lot of times traumatic situations can be so deep that the mind, again, will shut down and will not want to access. It will compartmentalize and fractalize that aspect of the soul. When we are talking about fractals of the soul, there are two ways that a soul can be compartmentalized. Number one, when you are in a traumatic situation, you will recall the memory, but you won't recall how it affected you. And this is why the regression is necessary to access that quite superficial but subconscious information that is there available to us. The second aspect of that is a trauma that is so impactful that it has caused you to shut down so that you can no longer access that memory. Okay, so this is where, for example, the hippocampus is the one that is processing those memories, and that is the one that creates a shutdown for that information. So it doesn't want to access that information because it's too painful, too impactful. The body didn't know how to react, how to process that information properly. So this is where deeper regressive work is very, very important. During meditation, we're normally able to access the majority of these, but for more traumatic situations, for example, when there is a very deep traumatic sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, mind control abuse, or any kind of institutional abuse, then we start going into much deeper fractals of the soul, in which these are created on purpose in order to compartmentalize the behavior of a person. The personality of a person is now also created into fractals. Okay, so this is where we need to reintegrate the soul, reintegrate the self, to allow us to understand how to reintegrate the true identity of a person through those experiences. So as we are dealing with trauma, today I'm going to go into a quick healing. I'm going to show you how we reprogram DNA so that you can access trauma information. I want you guys to get really nice and comfortable. We are going to run through running energy and running into those memory pockets of our mind and our history. And this is us accessing that information so we can then again heal that. Okay. So without further ado, I want you to inhale deeply and exhale. Go ahead and close your eyes and get really nice and comfortable wherever you are. And we're going to start by doing a quick body scan. I want you to visualize pulling up gold energy from the center of the earth coming into your body, going into your toes, going into your ankles. We are reconnecting with the body. One of the aspects of trauma is that we often disassociate from connecting to the emotions and to feeling our body. And that's quite common when we deal with very traumatic situations. But in this time of healing, it is really important for us to really reconnect and not be afraid to feel emotions, to not be afraid to see thoughts, memories. Anytime something comes up that you are afraid of accessing, I want you to inhale deeply and exhale, allowing you to visualize it on a screen far away from you, as if you're looking at something from a third person perspective. Okay? And you are safe where you are, allowing yourself to just look at it and observe from far away, from above. Reconnecting with our body, we're going to go up to our calves and our shins, pulling up that gold energy into our body, going up into our knees, into our thighs. Relaxing, releasing. As you inhale deeply and exhale, I want you to release any tension, any anxiety that's there within your body. You're going to go up into your solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus is here, the core of our body. This is right at the navel. I'm going to be referring to the solar plexus many times during this healing, so you know where it is. It's right at your navel. And paying really close attention to our solar plexus here, because this is where all our emotions are stored within the muscle memory of the body. So as you inhale deeply and exhale, I want you to expand all the muscles here in the solar plexus, releasing so we don't notice how tight our muscles are here, allowing you to expand. And with every breath, you are releasing expectation, any anxiety, any stress, any fear, any doubt that is within your body. Just allow yourself to take this very important moment of your day for your healing, for your time. We're going to go up into our lung space. I want you to visualize inhaling that gold energy into the body, filling the lungs, healing our space here, removing any kind of stagnant air within our respiratory system, allowing us to reconnect with the physical body. We're going to go up into our neck, down our shoulders, down our arms, down to the palms of our hands. I want you to feel the space around you, feel the air around your body become really connected with your physical body. I want you to feel the space and notice your energetic space around you. How far out does your energy emit from your body? Notice that front and back. We're going to go up into our head here, into our face. Our face is where our muscle holds all the muscle memory in the face holds all of the expressions of our day. So allow yourself to release the tension, any fine lines, any creases, allowing your brow to relax, to release. Again, inhaling deeply and exhaling, going even deeper and deeper into your center point, connecting with your body. We're going to go deeper into our meditation. I want you to visualize now this energetic space that you feel around you, the energy that you are emitting. I want you to visualize a giant sphere that completely surrounds your body, encloses you inside of this sphere. And it's going to be made out of something that's completely impenetrable. It can be cement, it can be crystals, quartz, diamonds, plastic. Whatever feels real to you, make it as thick as possible so that you know that this is your space that you are owning here now. Using your intuition, I want you to sense where in your body around you it's difficult to visualize closing your sphere around you, and making sure that you are zipping up or closing, using whatever visualization can assist you in sealing your space around you. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. I want you now to visualize the center of the earth. What does the center of the earth look like to you? Visualize the core of the planet and create an energetic connection that connects your entire body and connects you all the way down to that core of the planet as you anchor yourself. And what you're doing is you are bringing all 7 bodies back into the present moment. You are coming into the present moment. You are putting your brain into a theta state by grounding yourself and aligning yourself with the vibration of the earth. This is a very powerful tool in any stressful situation, any moment where you feel anxiety, fear. You connect yourself down to the center of the earth and become completely grounded. We're going to go even deeper into our meditation as we are now grounded and protected. We are going to focus on our alignment. We're going to go to our root chakra. The root chakra is located at the very base of the spine. I want you to visualize closing that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime, disconnecting from any emotional imbalance here within the root chakra. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. We're going to go up into the second chakra, the sacral chakra located right below the navel. I want you to visualize closing this chakra all the way down to the size of a dime, disconnecting from any imbalance of your sacral chakra. All you see is a little orange dot right below the navel. We're going to go up into our solar plexus. Visualize that yellow chakra in the center of your solar plexus right at your navel. Visualize closing that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime, disconnecting from any imbalance of our emotional body. And immediately disconnecting from these three chakras allows us to disconnect from any imbalances within the multidimensional body. So you will feel that rush of peace, of serenity take over the body. Allow yourself to notice what feels different here as you disconnect from the physical plane. We're going to go up into the heart chakra, the green light in the center of your chest. I want you to open that chakra as wide as possible, front and back, emitting the green light from the center of your chest, opening the center of connection. Your connection from your higher self into the physical. You are opening those channels so you can access that information, that vibrational information. We're going to go up into the throat chakra. Visualize opening that chakra as wide as possible, opening your channels of communication with your higher self and the physical self. We're going to go up into the third eye. I want you to visualize opening that indigo color as wide as possible, opening your center for intuition. Seeing beyond the physical, understanding and sensing what we need to heal. We communicate on many different levels. Our verbal speech is just one of the many ways that we are capable of communicating. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. As we go even deeper into our healing, my love, I want you to visualize the first three chakras closed, the top three chakras open. I call this a reading state. It's also called a martini state, because you look like a martini here. We're going to go even deeper. I want you to see a blank white screen in front of you. And on this white blank screen, you're going to see a color. This color represents your highest vibration. What color do you see? Take a look at that color, the first color that comes up. Whatever feels real to you. Trust yourself, trust your intuition and what you see. We're going to take this color and we are going to line it with every aspect of ourselves. We're going to go up into the crown chakra. The crown chakra is one of the most powerful centers of manifestation that we own, part of our technology. I want you to visualize a pie chart at the crown of your head. And each one of those sections is going to represent a certain aspect of your life. The first one is going to be career. I want you to fill that in with your color that you saw, as we are aligning ourselves from the highest vibration in all spectrums of ourselves. The next is relationships. The next is family. The next is abundance. The next is love. The next is your health. The next is your purpose. May it unfold before you without any blockages or limitations. The next is money. The next is family. And finally, your spiritual practice. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. In this moment, you are grounded down to the center of the earth. You are protected in your sphere of light. Your first three chakras are closed. Your top three chakras are open. Your crown chakra is shining brilliantly with your unique vibration. We go deeper into running energy, preparing us to go deeper into a regressive state. I want you to visualize from the center of the earth, a powerful green energy comes rushing up into the physical body, creating a vortex of energy here at your core. Visualizing that green healing earth energy entering the body, rotating in a vortex of powerful energy. From the universe, from source, I want you to visualize a powerful golden light coming down through the skies, through the roof of your house, down through the crown of your head, down your spine, combining with that green earth energy in the center of your body, creating a vortex of healing, source energy and earth energy. I want you to create a channel of elimination. You're going to send some of that back down to the center of the earth, like a little stream of green and gold light, so that anything we need to release from the body will go down this way. You're going to go back to your solar plexus, pulling up that green and gold up your spine like a fountain of energy. Green and gold surrounds the outside of your sphere, healing, protecting you, cutting any cords and connections that do not belong to you around your body. You're going to go back to your solar plexus. You're going to pull up that green and gold energy down your arms, and from the palms of your hands, fill the inside of your sphere. Visualize that green and gold surrounding your body completely, healing you, protecting you, seeping into every pore of your body, into the muscles, into the bones, all the way down to the very cellular level of your body, transforming any darkness into pure white light. And in this moment, I want you to inhale deeply from the crown of your head down to the base of your feet. Eliminate any anxiety, any stress out of your body, allowing you to be fully connected with the physical now as we go even deeper into our state of relaxation. This is called running energy. This is the base work for all internal and deep transformational work. Allowing yourself to memorize this alignment as you feel that green and earth energy and source energy running through the 3 dimensions of your body, it begins to loosen up anything that needs to be eliminated in this practice today. As you are running energy, I want you to start thinking back to these situations of trauma that have been on your mind for a while now. I want you to go back as you think back to all the things that have occurred over the past week, over the past month, over the past year. I want you to go as far back as you can, scanning your life as if you're looking through pages of a magazine. I want you to observe yourself interacting in those interactions and seeing if there's anything you need to learn there. And what I want you to do is I want you to select one of those memories that have caused you the greatest amount of impact in your life. Go there now. As the memory starts to come up, I want you to notice where you are and who you are with here in this memory. I want you to start tapping into yourself here, into what you are feeling in that moment. As you start to feel that emotion that you are feeling in that moment that is causing you this impact, I want you to scan your body and to see where in your body you feel that emotion. Using your intuition and your body, your tools, I want you to scan and see where you find that emotion is originating from. As you scan your body, I want you to identify now what that emotion is. As you start to zoom into this emotion, I want you to feel that emotion where you do, and I want you to start expanding that emotion without any resistance. Oftentimes, we are afraid to feel emotions because, yes, they feel very uncomfortable, and it's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit, but we are going to carefully and compassionately allow ourselves to explore this emotion on a much deeper level. So allow yourself to feel that emotion. And as it is expanding through your body, you will open a lot more information regarding what's behind it. So I want you to notice what other thoughts come up, what other emotions are triggered, identifying what lies behind this emotion. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. As you start to notice what lies behind this emotion, you might find a lot of different emotions that come rushing up into your mind. I just want you to notice them without connecting to them necessarily, feeling them. I just want you to notice what those emotions are. And as you feel these emotions, I want you to recognize which one of those is the strongest, most prominent emotion that you feel in that moment. As you recognize this, I want you to go back to the very first time that you felt that emotion. You can go as far back as you want, as far back into your childhood memories that you feel you need. There is no wrong answer to this. Allow your intuition to take you where you need to go. As you are there, a new memory will come up. I want you to zoom into this memory. Take a look at yourself there. Where are you now? Where was the first time that you felt that emotion? Take a look at yourself, who you're with, where you are, and what are you feeling? As you start to tap into yourself here in this moment, I want you to ask yourself, what was it that you needed from the surroundings, from the people that you are with, in order to not feel the way that you do? Taking note of what that is, I want you to look at yourself. Tap in with yourself in this situation. What was it that you needed from yourself in this moment? Identifying those two requirements, I want you to visualize a vibrational color for these two requirements. We give the example of unconditional love and strength or protection. Visualize these two colors, and I want you to see yourself there. You're going to surround yourself in a golden sphere of light, and I want you to fill yourself up with this color of vibration that you identified, with this unconditional love, with this protection. Allow yourself to drink in this energy. Allow yourself to breathe in this vibrational information as you begin to reprogram the trauma of this moment, allowing the analytical mind to allow yourself to heal in this moment, providing yourself with what only you know you needed. Your emotions are valid. Your experience is completely valid. And this is your opportunity to heal this particular memory in your life, to heal this programming. I want you to see the people, place, or things that are there around you. And I want you to shine your crown chakra with your color on top of them. And you're going to see a contract. This contract represents all of the trauma that you experienced there within that moment. Any kind of contractual agreements that you share with this being and with yourself, any lessons that were required for you to learn within this experience are there within that contract. Go ahead and destroy that contract completely using your light, almost as if it's a laser. Eliminate that contractual agreement. And I want you to ask yourself, are you ready to let this go? If the answer is yes, allow yourself to let that go. If the answer is no, deeper work is required here. So I want you to take the time and think why you feel you are not prepared to let that go. Sometimes these journeys open tunnels and tunnels of different information that we never thought was possible, that we never thought was accessible. There is so much truth that we find within understanding our deep emotions. Do not be afraid to experience and feel them and understand them. This is our opportunity to heal. As you inhale deeply and exhale, I want you to go back to that child healing within that sphere. I want you to notice what is different here within that self. What has changed? As you notice what has changed, I want you to take note that this is a fractal of your soul. Anytime we have a traumatic situation in life, it's almost as if a fractal of our soul is left suspended in that moment in time. We are going to reintegrate that aspect of ourselves. I want you to see that child there. I want you to cut the cord on their end, to cut the cord on your end. Inhaling deeply, reintegrating that fractal back into yourself, healing all aspects of yourself that require that information, that newfound transformation here and now. As you inhale deeply and exhale, you have a newfound sense of completion here within this interaction with one memory that you have worked through. I want you to visualize all these memories around you, and I want you to eliminate them from your space. Clean your space. 7 bodies in, 7 bodies out, all charges down to zero, negative, infinite. Cleansing completely your space of all of these negative emotions, all of these thoughts, all of these experiences and memories. Clear your space. I want you to visualize a crowded room full of all the people you have interacted with, anyone that you have been um, either a person that has been a perpetrator to yourself or caused any pain or harm to you. I want you to see them there inside this room, and I want you to cut cords with them. You will see a cord connecting you to them. I also want you to notice where on your body as you scan do you see that cord connected to you. A lot of times, these cords are manifestations of ailments. If we have stomach issues, if we have anxiety issues, and it's located here within the solar plexus, sometimes we find that these cords are connected there. I want you to become very aware of where in your body, because that'll help us understand ourselves and our healing on a much deeper level. As you cut the cords, I want you to inhale deeply and exhale, reintegrating your energy and your vibration from these interactions. This is daily energetic hygiene that you should do with everyone in your network every day, cutting cords and creating neutrality for healing. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. As you see yourself here in this moment now, what is it that you need now to get through your day? What is it that you are missing? Do you need more love? Do you need more compassion? Do you need more support? Are you fearful? Are you tired? Give yourself what you require in this moment. I want you to visualize a color that represents that which you need. And I want you to fill yourself up as if you are being covered in a rain, warm water of this healing color energy, this vibration all over your body. I want you to sense this energy penetrating into the flesh, into the muscles, into the bones, transforming any of that tension, any of that darkness into pure white light, eliminating all of that stress and anxiety, all of that pain, any suffering, any blockages down to the center of the earth. You're going to start with the root chakra. I want you to open that root chakra back into a balanced state. You're going to go up to the second chakra, open that chakra back into a balanced state right on top of the first one. You're going to go up to the solar plexus. I want you to open that chakra back into a balanced state as you have your red, orange, yellow chakra in a perfect alignment up your spine. You're going to go up to your heart chakra, close that chakra back into a balanced state. Throat chakra, close that chakra back into a balanced state. Your third eye, visualize closing that chakra back into a balanced state. So now you are no longer open, but you are perfectly aligned and centered in balance. Neutrality is the most powerful state of being, balance and neutral throughout your entire day. I want you to visualize your sphere around you, and I want you to focus on your unique color here in your crown chakra. You're going to send that up into the 8th chakra. Turn on that 8th chakra. You're going to go up into the 9th chakra. Turn on that 9th chakra. You're going to go up into the 10th chakra. Turn on that 10th chakra. Inhaling deeply and exhaling, integrating that higher self into the physical. You're going to go up to the 11th chakra. Turn on that chakra. The 12th chakra. Turn on that chakra. the 13th chakra. Go ahead and fill in that 13th chakra with your creative color. And above you, you will see a powerful white light of source. I want you to connect up into that powerful white light as you reconnect with your highest self, with source. This is the fountain of all knowing, of all information, of all truth. I want you to visualize pulling that white light over your body, sealing the work that we have done here today, healing the body, healing all aspects of the multidimensional body, mind, and soul. Setting the intention that from this moment on, you're going to maintain this balanced connection to your body, filling yourself with joy and with love, with that expansive feeling of freedom, of connection, of health, of vitality. I want you to come back into the room. And as you open your eyes, I want you to continue to see the exact same alignment, your grounding cord, your shield, your chakra system in perfect alignment, and your crown chakra shining bright, connecting all the way up to source. I want you to see that with your eyes open. I want you to memorize this alignment and maintain it for the next 30 days. Every morning, realigning and reconnecting yourself up to source in GPAC. Grounding, protecting, aligning, creating, connecting all the way up to source. I want to thank you so much for joining me on this short journey into healing the traumas in the body and the mind. And of course, this is just a refresher course for understanding how to reprogram DNA and how to reprogram trauma-based emotions. Um, of course, when I do my healings, I work much, much deeper and focus on every single one of those emotions, understanding and going back to the root cause of these emotions so that we can heal, reprogram, and reintegrate from that information. Please know that you are so worthy of healing. You are worthy of empowerment and living the life that you want to live. And today is the perfect day to start, even if you do it for just 10 minutes, even if you just reconnect with the technology within your body. It is so important to connect and to be acquainted with what we are capable of doing. Understanding that we are not victims of our surroundings, but indeed powerful creators. And when we know that, we flow through life with a sense of calm, of neutrality, of empowerment that nothing can take away from us. No external activity, no traumatic situation, nobody that is playing any manipulative energetic role with us. We own our space and we are empowered with that. So I want to thank you so much for joining me once again. I send you all my love. Thank you so much for spending time, and I wish you an incredible week. See you next time.